Part 39. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 381. Anyway, Xiao Jianmo has no intention of inviting you to dinner, and you did eat such expensive food. It is unreasonable for Xiao Jianmo to bear this money alone. 40,000 yuan is not a small amount. Xiao Jianzhou warned, then let him find Xiao Shulan. We went to the hotel because of her daughter. Village chief, I've already said that you don't have to go even if others didn't invite you to go. Don't say that they didn't want you to go. Your fourth brother personally stopped you from getting on the bus into Guo village. We all can't. Seen it all. Xiao Jianzhou choked. The village chief added, so in my opinion, Xiao Jianmo has the biggest responsibility for what happened today. After all, he placed the order, so he alone bears 20,000 yuan, and Xiao Jianzhou and Xiao Jianyu each have 10,000 yuan. Ya Yunting's face was full of reluctance. No. Lu Yuero, I won't agree either. Lu Hehua, I won't agree either. Why should their family produce the most? When the village chief heard this, he could only use his trump card. Okay, then I can only call the police. Then the news about you not being filial to your parents will spread, and the news about your parents disowning you will spread, and you will still be wandering around. Countless people will know about the joke in the hotel. You should consider whether you can afford to lose face. The three of you have broken the hearts of your parents and second sister before, and have lost many relatives. The three of you are just hugging each other for warmth. If something happens in the future, you will definitely have to move around each other. Today don't break up with each other, your children will not be able to get along with each other in the future. The faces of the three couples turned red and they fell silent at the same time. Xiao Jianyu was helpless. Okay, I agree, 10,000 yuan is 10,000 yuan. Lu Yuero shouted, how can you agree? Xiao Jianyu frowned, speaking of men, what do you women have to do with you? My master, can you still do it? If you make trouble again, I will beat you to death. Lu Yuero gritted her teeth, turned around and walked away. Give it, it's not the money she earned anyway. Ya Yunting didn't want to agree, but seeing Xiao Jianzhou glaring at her, she couldn't say anything. Xiao Jianzhou, just listen to the village chief. Xiao Jianmo was also helpless. Okay, I will listen to the village chief. Village chief, you can transfer the money now. Xiao Jianzhou and Xiao Jianyu could only open mobile banking at the same time and transfer 10,000 yuan to Xiao Jianmo. Xiao Jianmo also quickly received the payment reminder. At this point, the farce ends. Other spectators also dispersed. Xiao Ningxun went to the three people's homes and took a look. Without exception, they were all dissatisfied with the village chief's treatment. After much deliberation, they still wanted to go to Lao Qiao's family and ask them to reimburse the money. The next day, a man went to the prison early in the morning and met Yuan Deshan. Yuan Deshan frowned when he saw the person coming and said, you have the nerve to come and see me? I thought you were so afraid of me that you had already moved away from Nanjing. Ren Jingjing, I was really afraid of you at first, but I was just afraid that you would hurt my child. After knowing that you were caught, I didn't need to run away. Yuan Deshan said gloomily, where is that scoundrel of yours? Is he dead? Ren Jingjing smiled proudly, don't worry, the child should not have been killed. He is living well now. I can support the child without you. You feed the children. Yuan Deshan smiled sarcastically, I think you have found a successor again, and asked him to raise the children for you. You can take care of him. Ren Jingjing's face suddenly turned pale. She did find another man, but this man was not as good as Yuan Deshan, who often abused her domestically. But for the sake of her children, she had no choice but to endure it. Yuan Deshan finally felt better when he saw Ren Jingjing's ugly face and asked, if you have nothing else to say, I will leave. Seeing that Yuan Deshan was about to stand up, Ren Jingjing hurriedly said, of course I have something to say, you know? Chiao Ningxun was recommended to Huaxia University this year, and even though she was recommended, she also took the college entrance examination. She is a science major in our province. No one. Yuan Deshan sat down again, his face full of impatience. Here again. Both of them deliberately made him angry. He was blind to marry these two who loved to add insult to injury. Ren Jingjing looked at his face and mocked, don't look down on her, she is amazing now. She participated in many competitions in school and won many first places at the municipal level, provincial level, and national level. Every time the rewards are at least tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands. This year's top scorer in science also won her a lot of scholarships, which add up to millions at least. Yuan Deshan frowned, is this what you're talking about? Ren Jingjing didn't see the expression she wanted to see and snorted, don't believe it, everything I said is true. Yuan Deshan had no expression on his face, so what if it's true? Ren Jingjing smiled and said, oh, I see, you are pretending to be calm on purpose, but in fact you must be regretting it deeply. If you had not driven her away, if you had not intentionally killed someone, and had not been sentenced, you could let Jiao take care of her in the future as a matter of course. Ningxun will take care of you in your old age. Students who graduate from Huaxia University have a bright future and will definitely earn a lot of money in the future. By the way, you don't know, right? Chiao Ningxun opened a clothing factory. The most expensive clothes are sold for 2,000 to 3,000 apiece. In the past year or so, it has been expanded many times. I heard that in the year the income is tens of millions. Yuan Deshan lost his composure, stood up suddenly, and stammered, how many, tens of millions? Ren Jingjing saw that he was finally anxious and said in a good mood, yes, at first I didn't know why she had so much money to buy a clothing factory. After yesterday, I knew. Yuan Deshan asked anxiously, why does she have so much money? If he were outside, he could get the money by just using his brain. At that time, he will be able to enjoy all the glory and wealth for the rest of his life. Ren Jingjing looked Yuan Deshan up and down, because, her biological father has appeared. No wonder Chiao Ningxun looks so good looking, he looks like her biological father. Yuan Deshan suddenly opened his eyes, what? The owner of the sperm that Jiao Shulan used back then has appeared. That's right, Ren Jingjing smiled and said, do you know who that person is? After I saw that man, I knew why Chiao Ningxun was so good. Yuan Deshan had a bad feeling in his heart and said solemnly, who is that man? Ren Jingjing, do you know the Soxhlet Group? It is a well-known company in the world. It has assets and investments all over the world. Yuan Deshan, of course I know it. There should be no Chinese who doesn't know it. Are you saying that Chiao Ningxun's biological father is a person who works in the Soxhlet Group? Ren Jingjing, more than that. That person is Suo Jingguo, the chairman of Sox Group. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 382. Yuan Deshan was startled and said excitedly, Suo Jingguo? She is actually Suo Jingguo's child. That's right, Ren Jingjing smiled again and said, yesterday, Chiao Ningxun's college entrance banquet was held at Junhang Hotel. You know the quality of Junhang Hotel even if I don't tell you. Suo Jingguo attended, and the old man of the Chu family also they are present. These two are the bosses of our Nanjing, no, they can be said to be the bosses of the national enterprises. You can imagine how important Chiao Ningxun is in their hearts. Yuan Deshan felt extremely uncomfortable when he heard this. Seeing how uncomfortable Ren Jingjing was, she left the prison in a good mood. Go and regret it, ha ha ha. Yuan Deshan returned to the dormitory and began to regret again. I regret why I abandoned Xiao Shulan and married that Ren Jingjing. If he is with Xiao Shulan now, he has worked hard to raise Jiaoning Sun, and everything about Jiaoning Sun will be his. Even after her life experience was exposed, he could still ask Suo Jingguo for a large amount of alimony. But it's too late now. On the other side, Suo Xingxin came to a room with handcuffs and anklets. Seeing the person opposite, he frowned and sat down. Why is it you? Qin Shiyun raised his eyebrows. Then who do you think it is? Do you think it's your father and brother? He didn't know what he liked about Suo Xingxin before. I didn't expect that she would be such a stupid person. It was stupid to do it in front of so many guests. It's all right now, everything is over. But fortunately, he didn't lose his mind. Ever since he knew how vicious Suo Xingxin was, he had no feelings for her. Suo Xingxin frowned and said, "What are you doing here? Are you here to see what happens to me?" Qin Shiyun sighed, "You think too badly of me. I just wanted to tell you that I already have the answer to what you entrusted me to do just because I liked you." The entrustment. Suo Xingxin said excitedly, "Did you say that the person has been found? Is he a boy or a girl? How old is he now? Where does he live? What are the conditions at home?" Qin Shiyun, "I found her. She is a girl. She is the same age as you and has a similar birthday. Like us, she also lives in Nanjing. The conditions at home were not good when she was young, but she is not bad now." Suo Xingxin continued to ask, "Is she beautiful? Is she smart? Does she have good grades?" Qin Shiyun, "Beautiful, smart, and has good grades." Suo Xingxin said anxiously, "Then can you not tell my father and brother her specific whereabouts?" Qin Shiyun narrowed his eyes, "You are like this, what else do you want to do?" Suo Xingxin snorted, "It's that person who makes me worried every day, that's why I want Jiaoning Sun to die. She caused me so much misery, and I won't make it easy for her. I didn't really kill Jiaoning. Soon, I will go out after a few years in prison. When I get out, I will settle the score with her and Jiaoning Sun. She must not let that person return to the Suo family, otherwise she will really have no status at all in the Suo family." Qin Shiyun mocked, "Then you have no chance." Suo Xingxin was stunned, "Why? Could it be that my father and brother have already found her?" Qin Shiyun smiled and said, "Of course, she and Jiaoning Sun are the same person. After you were arrested yesterday, your father and brother already knew her true identity. Chu Yanyi exposed it personally, and the paternity test has also been done, support biological father-daughter relationships. She is indeed a born bad person. At this time, she doesn't know how to reflect. Instead, she is still thinking about how to take revenge on others. Having a crush on Suo Xingxin was really a lifelong shame for him." "What?" Suo Xingxin said in shock, "That person is Jiaoning Sun. How is that possible? Doesn't she have her own parents?" Qin Shiyun, "Her father is just an adoptive father and cannot give birth. Her mother went to the hospital to borrow your adoptive father's sperm to give birth to a child." Suo Xingxin felt like being struck by lightning. That's actually the case. She had never doubted Jiaoning Sun. If she had known that the child was Jiaoning Sun, she would have gotten rid of her long ago. No wonder she always disliked Jiaoning Sun. Seeing Suo Xingxin clenching her fists, Qin Shiyun said helplessly, "Okay, that's all I have to say, just stay here." Suo Xingxin suddenly asked, "Do my father and brother want to recognize Jiaoning Sun?" Qin Shiyun, who had already stood up, nodded, "Yes, you know, your father's lineage is thin. If you can have another daughter, your father and brother will be very happy. The most important reason is because of you." Suo Xingxin was stunned, "Did my father and brother deliberately make me angry?" Qin Shiyun shook his head, "No, the daughter of the Suo family group killed someone in public. Do you think it would be nice to hear about this? But if the real daughter of the Suo family group is the top science student admitted to Huaxia University, she can save Suo family's life. A lot of image. Soxa's stock price can also be more stable. Suo Xingxin's face turned even more ugly. Since she was a child, she has known how to get into trouble and ask the Suo family to clean up a lot of messes for her. But as soon as Qiao Ningxun returned to the Suo family, he brought honor to the Suo family. You didn't need to think about it to know what the Suo family would do. Wrong. Seeing Suo Xingxin's body trembling, Qin Shuyun said with a smile, you guessed it right. Last night the Suo family went to the newspaper to publish an article announcing the termination of the adoption relationship with you, and listed the bad things you had done since childhood. So, now you have nothing to do with the Suo family. And I tried to find a way to ask Chairman Suo's assistant. They have no intention of fishing you out, and they won't help you again this time. You are an adult now, and you can only go to jail to atone for your sins. Suo Xingxin's eyes darkened when she heard this, and she suddenly fainted. Her father and eldest brother don't care about her anymore, so what's the point of living for her? She might as well be dead. Qin Shuyun shook his head helplessly. He had known this. Why did he do it in the first place? From an orphan to the eldest lady of the Suo family, she is already a winner in life, but she doesn't know how to cherish her. Sure enough, some people are born with a bad destiny. Even if her destiny is changed, she cannot become a phoenix. After Qiao Ningxun's family had breakfast, the family prepared to return to Deguo village. As soon as he walked to the door, he saw Suo Hongfeng, who was wearing a mask, making a gesture of ringing the doorbell. Seeing Qiao Ningxun coming out, Suo Hongfeng said excitedly, Ningxun, are you free? After last night, the relatives of the Suo family also knew about your existence and wanted to meet you. Of course, if you are willing, I won't force you. Qiao Kongsheng looked at his granddaughter, you can go if you want. We can go back by ourselves. Qiao Shulan said, it's okay if you don't go. After all, my daughter's origin is different from that of ordinary people. Even if she doesn't recognize her, others can't gossip about her. Suo Hongfeng looked at Qiao Shulan again, can I call you Aunt Qiao? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 383. Qiao Shulan nodded, of course. Suo Hongfeng smiled and said, Aunt Qiao, please come with us. Although this is a bit inappropriate, I still want to say that you are also a contributor to our Suo family and gave birth to such a beautiful and capable daughter. My father's family will prevent the heirs from dying too much, and Ningxun is also very powerful, bringing honor to our Suo family. This, Qiao Shulan looked at her daughter. Qiao Ningxun said, then let's go there together. Just let her see what their attitudes are towards her and Suo Xingxin now. Suo Hongfeng was overjoyed, let's go, I'll drive over here, take my car, and then I'll take you back. The two nodded, quickly got in the car and left. On the other side, the car in which Lao Qiao's family was riding quickly entered the territory of Deguo village. As soon as he arrived near the house, he saw Lu Yuero's parents waiting at their door from a distance. He Yuan Yang and He Yuan Hui got out of the car first, followed by the others. Two male drivers followed them. Looking at the four tall people, Father Lu and Mother Lu couldn't help but feel a little frightened. Their thinking is still stuck in the past. The impression given to them by Lao Qiao's family has always been that the family is old, weak, sick, and young. They can bully them at will, but they dare not resist or retaliate if they are bullied. Otherwise, Lao Qiao's family would not have let their three sons go, not paying them alimony for several years, and not daring to say anything. In the first year after their daughter got married, they came to support her because she was wronged. At that time, the old couple did not dare to say anything, they just protected the two younger children at home. Before leaving Lao Chiao's house, their daughter caught the two largest hens from Lao Chiao's yard. Now seeing the grown-up He Yuan Yang and He Yuan Hui, they were a little hesitant. Shouldn't they come over today? If you tell them why they came today, will they be beaten? The current Lao Chiao family seems to be really different from what it used to be. He Yuan Yang came to the door, but did not open the door for a while, and asked coldly, "What are you doing here?" Lu Quan, who was about 1.6 meters tall and much shorter than He Yuan Yang, raised his head uncomfortably. "That's right, we heard that 3 people from your family are studying at Huaxia University, so we came here to congratulate you." He Yuan Hui glanced at their hands with a mocking look on his face. "Congratulations. Congratulations with empty hands. The etiquette is really thoughtful." Lu Quan followed his gaze and said uncomfortably, "No, we heard about your family's college entrance banquet yesterday and wanted to go to Junhua Hotel to congratulate you." He Yuan Yang, "Oh? You went, then why didn't we see you?" Speaking of this matter, Lu Quan became very angry and recounted yesterday's situation. "That's it? We dressed decently to congratulate you yesterday, but the waiter made a mistake and took us to a separate room to eat." Mother Lu said urgently, "Our family has eaten a total of 20,000 yuan. 20,000 yuan may not be much money to you, but if we, the old couple, are not mature enough, we will not be able to make any money from farming and selling vegetables." 20,000 yuan. He Yuan Yang knew what they were thinking and frowned. "We didn't invite you yesterday." Lu Quan smiled and said, "We are all relatives, of course we want to go there to celebrate." He Yuan Hui, "So, Mother Lu, we were originally going to celebrate you. Of course, there is no reason to let the guests spend money to celebrate. It was all because the waiter made a mistake, so we spent an extra 20,000 yuan. How about this, just treat it as you yesterday, please give us the 20,000 yuan. He Yuan Yang and He Yuan Hui sneered at the same time. He Yuan Yang, "It turns out I want money." Lu Quan frowned, "Don't say it so harshly. You should have invited us to dinner yesterday. We just came here to get our money back." He Yuan Hui asked, "Our family was celebrating our 3 juniors yesterday. As elders, shouldn't you show some respect to us juniors?" Mother Lu said matter-of-factly, "What do you want me to say? Your family already has a garment factory. If you make so much money a year, will you value the 3 melons and 2 dates we give you?" He Yuan Hui snorted, "You are really thick-skinned. We were tired all day yesterday. We don't have time to chat with you today, and we don't want to receive you. Let's go quickly." Lu Mu suddenly became angry. "What do you mean? Do you want to default on the debt?" Chiao Kongsheng and Ye Kaixiang were also listening. Chiao Kongsheng said, "Don't say it so harshly. You came here uninvited and you spent your own money. What does it have to do with us? If you are not convinced, then call the police and see which side the police will take." Ye Kaixiang snorted, "The food we invited other guests to eat is not even 20,000 yuan per table. You are really good at eating, and your family can eat 20,000 yuan. You want us to reimburse you, unless my surname is yours." Chiao Kongsheng, "Looking at what you are thinking now, it seems like you went there yesterday and didn't want to give out a penny of the gift money. You are going to a banquet and you are so embarrassed that you can't give out a penny? Are you still asking for all of the 20,000 yuan? Just dream. One at your age, it's really shameless to come here like a beggar early in the morning and ask for money from your in-laws." "You," Lu Quan was furious, "it seems that you are really rich and don't recognize us poor relatives." Ye Kaixiang took a step forward. "Which one of our 2 families is more outrageous? It's only 20,000 yuan. The money my son gave your family before was tens of thousands. It's only 20,000 yuan. Don't be so shameless, wanted." The three Jiaojianmo brothers all came from a distance with their wives. They frowned when they saw the Lu family's parents arriving. Lu Yuero stepped forward and said, "Dad, Mom, what are you doing here?" Seeing her daughter, Mother Lu cried as if she had seen a savior. "Daughter, you came just in time. Your father-in-law and mother-in-law are so bullying. They don't even reimburse us 20,000 yuan. We are obviously giving them face. We just went to their college entrance banquet, and the waiter made a mistake, so we paid 20,000 yuan ourselves." Lu Yuero was startled. "You also went to Junhua Hotel yesterday? Did you spend 20,000 yuan at your own expense?" Lu Mu nodded, "Yes." Lu Yuero suddenly turned her head and looked at the people from Lao Jiao's family. "Our two families were received separately yesterday and paid separately. Is this all planned by you?" He Yuanyang said coldly, "How could we design you? If you don't figure it out yourself, what does it have to do with us?" Lu Hehua knew that they would never admit it, so she said loudly, "Our family also gave us 40,000 yuan yesterday, and the second and third children gave us 10,000 yuan each. Dad and Mom are both Jiao's family members. The lives of our three families are the same. Your life is much more difficult, so just reimburse us for the money." End of chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 384. Jiaojianmo, Dad, Mom, you can ignore the Lu family's money, but we are your biological sons. You can't treat us like that. Ye Kaixiang was surprised and said, "So you also went yesterday? Then you are really stupid." 4 families went together and couldn't find the banquet hall. The 4 families blushed at the same time. They have never been to such a big hotel, so it's normal that they can't find it. Jiao Jianmo said, "Mom, how can you say that? Just tell me, will you give me the money or not?" Ye Kaixiang, "No, in the past, my family's life was much more difficult than yours. Have you thought about giving me money? Now that my family's life is better, you guys come to visit me. Why are you so shameless? Jiao Kongsheng, I don't welcome you here, leave now." Jiao Jianzhou said, "Dad, Mom, if you return the money to us today, if anything happens to your family in the future, we can still help. If you don't give it, then we won't care about anything in the future." Jiao Kongsheng said coldly, "You never took care of me before. Ningxun is filial and hired a nanny and bodyguard to take care of us. We don't need your care." Ningxun said, "Now even if we go to court to sue you, you must pay alimony every month. If you don't leave, I will immediately find a lawyer to sue. If you don't pay, we can apply for enforcement. If you don't leave in the future, money is being forcibly withdrawn from your card every month, so don't worry." The 3 families were stunned. If they were sued, they would definitely lose more money in the future. The 3 families looked at each other and left quickly. Being sued for the 12,000 yuan is not worth the loss. Having been sued, it is estimated that the annual payment will be 10,000 yuan. The Lu family became anxious when they saw that the 3 families were gone, including their own daughter. He Yuanyang looked at them coldly, "You won't leave? I'll give you 3 seconds. If you don't leave, I will have you thrown into the river." Hearing this, the 2 drivers quickly took a few steps forward, with the attitude of throwing them into the river as soon as the boss gives the order. The nannies and bodyguards inside heard the sound, opened the door and walked out quickly. I saw that the drivers were all looking at the Lu family, and they were also staring at the Lu family. The Lu family saw that there were so many people there, so they had no choice but to leave in despair. Jiao Kongsheng sighed, "Ningxun really got it right. They will come to ask for money, but they don't dare to do anything outrageous." He Yuanyang said, "Yes, it is a society governed by law. If you go too far, you will break the law. Once you break the law, 3 generations will be destroyed. Everyone will pay attention to their own behavior. The rest of the people nodded and walked into the yard. Suojia. Suo Jingguo's cousin, Suo Jingguo, was sitting in the living room and asked curiously, "Cousin, are you really sure that Jiaoningsun is your daughter?" Suo Jingguo nodded, "Yes, a paternity test has been done." Suo Jingwen's wife Peng Qingyu said, "You want Jiaoningsun to come back, what about Suo Xingxin? After all, you have raised that child since she was a child, and you have put so much energy into it. Do you really want her to be here, stay in jail?" Although Suo Xingxin is stupid, the stupider the person, the easier it is to cheat. She had defrauded a lot of good things from Suo Xingxin before. If it were Jiaoningsun, I heard that she has a very good brain, it would not be easy to get benefits from her. Suo Jingguo became angry when Suo Xingxin was mentioned. "Cousin-in-law, I have announced in the newspaper that I have terminated the adoption relationship with Suo Xingxin. I will no longer have this daughter, and you don't have to mention her in front of me in the future." Peng Qingyu sighed and said, "The child is too pitiful. The Suo family has a great business, so why not fish that child out? After all, she is the daughter you have grown up in." Suo Jingguo, "Sister-in-law, you were not here yesterday and did not see that scene with your own eyes. I have never seen such a stupid person kill someone in front of so many people. Jiaoningsun is still the savior of the old man of the Chu family. Even if I want to hide it from her, it's useless, the Chu family will never give up. Suo Xingxin wanted to kill Jiaoningsun during the last Suo family banquet. I have already given her a chance. She could have lived an honest life in the future and continued to enjoy the glory and wealth I gave her, but she was so vicious that she killed someone again and destroyed herself. If there hadn't been a ladder by the wall at that time, Jiaoningsun would have been gone. What she wants to kill is my biological daughter. Tell me, how can I forgive her? If I forgive her, how can I face Jiaoningsun? One is related by blood, but he is kind and capable. The other is not related by blood, but is vicious and stupid. If it were you, would you prefer the vicious one?" Peng Qingyu sighed and said, "I have watched that child grow up since I was a child. I just feel that it is such a pity for that child. He is only 18 years old, and he is the same age as Hua." Suo Jingguo's sister Suo Lianyi also said, "That's right, eldest brother. After all, he is the child he watched grow up. He has raised a dog for 18 years, and he still has feelings." Suo Jingguo, she asked for it all. "Cousin-in-law, sister-in-law, if you really pity Suo Xingxin, why don't you consider her as your daughter after Suo Xingxin is released from prison?" "No," Peng Qingyu said with a smile, "I'm just saying. A child who could cause problems for Suo Jingguo. She wanted Suo Jingguo to take her in, but she didn't want her to take him in." Suo Lianyi also said, "I'll forget it. I'm not as rich as you, and I don't have that much money to help her deal with the aftermath. Just let her stay in prison. It's good to reflect on it." Suo Hongfeng's cousin Gu Qin snorted coldly, "As expected, it hurts when the board hits me." Peng Qingyu choked. Suo Lianyi glared at her son. "Have you ever made it so difficult for your mother to come to Taiwan? I am in my 20s and still in the rebellious stage. If you have the time, you might as well find your wife and let her have grandchildren as soon as possible." After a while, Peng Qingyu said, "Cousin, is that Jiaoningsun really that good?" Suo Jingguo thought about his daughter's achievements and said proudly, "Of course." Peng Qingyu said suspiciously, "How could it be so coincidental that Suo Xingxin attacked Jiaoningsun yesterday when all of you were here, cutting off her own escape route? It just happened that her identity was exposed yesterday." Suo Hongfeng frowned and said, "Auntie, what do you mean?" Peng Qingyu said, "I think you may have been deceived. In fact, everything yesterday was planned by Jiaoningsun's family, in order to return to the Suo family and seize the Suo family's wealth." "Then you are worrying too much," Suo Jingguo said, "she is very capable." She started doing business during the summer vacation of her first year of high school. The total wealth she has now is estimated to be in the billions. End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 385. Chapter 385. What kind of elder are you? She is very talented at gambling on stones. Every time she goes there, she can make hundreds of millions. She also has great experience in stock trading, and the stocks in her hands are worth a lot of money now. In 2 years, she went from being in debt at home to having billions of wealth in her hands. Now she is making money faster than the average person. She is already so rich, and it will only be a matter of time before she earns tens or hundreds of billions. Do you think she might be interested in our family's money? And we heard what they said with our own ears. No matter how powerful Chiao Ningxun is, he can't control Suo Xingxin from deliberately attacking her. Peng Qingyu said in shock, "What? She already has billions in her hands." Suo Jingguo nodded, "Yes, you haven't heard that it's billions, not hundreds of thousands." Suo Lianyi was also shocked and asked, "She earned all this money alone?" Suo Jingguo, "That's right." Peng Qingyu said suspiciously, "Could it be that you helped her earn it, and you said that on purpose?" Suo Jingguo sneered, "How is it possible? You don't know me yet? With my temperament, if I knew that such an outstanding person was my daughter, I would have stopped letting her make money on her own. I would have given her hundreds of millions of flowers." A trace of jealousy flashed in Peng Qingyu's eyes. At such a young age, he actually has billions of wealth in his hands. This ability is really enviable and enviable. Although they are all members of the Suo family, the head of the family is Suo Jingguo, and those who are capable and wealthy are also from Suo Jingguo's family. The money in their hands as relatives of the Suo family is as high as in the sky or on the ground compared with the money in Suo Jingguo's house. Suo Xingxin was such at the beginning, but they still felt that they were quite balanced. With Suo Xingxin, a prodigal daughter, Suo Jingguo's wealth will probably come to an end one day. But now that Chiao Ningxun, who has a particularly bright mind, suddenly appears, won't the Suo family be even more powerful in the future? Some of the young people present also felt very uncomfortable. When they were 16 to 18 years old, they were still working hard to spend money under the protection of their families. Other people have already made billions when they were 16 to 18 years old. Peng Qingyu's 2 sons, Suo Hongsheng and Suo Hongqiang, had contempt in their eyes. "Humph, my cousin must have said this on purpose to make them think that her daughter is powerful and not easy to bully. How could a teenager who was a teenager 2 years ago become so powerful?" They received elite education from the Suo family since childhood. Now they are in their 20s. 9 out of 10 businesses they invest in are unprofitable. Up to now, the combined money the two of them have earned for their family does not exceed 100 million. A country girl wants to earn billions, and she doesn't know how much she needs in terms of capital alone. I heard that the income of those rural people is only 30,000 to 40,000 yuan a year. The combined annual income of a family of 3 often does not exceed 100,000. Cousin is definitely bragging. Gu Qin raised his eyebrows. With his uncle's upright character, there was definitely no need to lie to them. This cousin, Chiao Ningxun, seems to be really powerful. Suddenly, Suo Jingguo's phone rang. After a while, he hung up the phone and said sternly, "Suo Hongfeng called just now and said that he had received Chiao Ningxun's mother and daughter. Please be polite later. If you scare them, don't blame me for not giving them anything." "You save face," Suo Wenwen said with a smile. "Don't worry, cousin, we are sensible." Peng Qingyu curled his lips disdainfully. "She is just a little girl from the country. Do you want her to be treated well by a wife from the Suo family? Go ahead and dream." After a while, Suo Hongfeng came back with Chiao Shulan and Chiao Ningxun. Suo Jingguo saw the person behind his son and stood up quickly with an excited expression. Mother Ningxuan, you are here. Xiao Shulan was not too nervous when she saw so many people in the Suo family. She said generously and gracefully, Mr. Suo, we are here. In the past 2 years, she has seen a lot of the world with her daughter, and she can handle these rich people with ease. Xiao Ningxun called out, Mr. Suo. Peng Qingyu frowned. He was indeed a child from the countryside. No matter how good his grades were, he still needed training in etiquette. You child, although you were born in a very special way, but your father likes you so much and wants to recognize you, you should call him dad no matter what. Seeing that his cousin was unhappy, Suo Jing glared at his wife and said, this is my cousin's own business. How can you, as an aunt, say anything right? Peng Qingyu looked unconvinced. As an elder, what's wrong with me saying a few words? The 2 sons and 1 daughter who asked for the scriptures glanced at Xiao Ningxuan. The 2 sons had indifferent faces, but only the daughter Suo Xinchuang gave Xiao Ningxuan a friendly smile. Suo Jingguo had never had a good impression of Peng Qingyu. Unexpectedly, a guest actually taught his daughter, sister-in-law, have you forgotten what I just told you? Peng Qingyu curled his lips and said, cousin, as an elder, I can help you educate your daughter. Suo Jingguo said with a sullen face, my daughter does not need an outsider like you to educate her. This is the first time my daughter has entered my house as a daughter, and I, the head of the family, didn't even speak. Is it your turn to point fingers? Peng Qingyu choked. Suo Jingguan stepped forward and pulled his wife to his side, don't think that this is your home. My cousin's children will be taken care of by himself. It's not your turn to speak. Peng Qingyu could only sit back unconvinced. Xiao Shulan frowned, it seemed like she shouldn't agree to her daughter coming. As expected, these wealthy people are not so easy for ordinary people like them to get along with. Just when he was about to comfort his daughter, he saw Xiao Ningxun staring at Peng Qingyu with cold eyes and asked, who are you, my elder? Since marrying into the Suo family, Peng Qingyu has rarely been talked back to like this. His voice was trembling with anger, look, I think her upbringing is not much better than that of Suo Xingxin. As expected, she is either a child who grew up in the Suo family, or it doesn't please our elders. Suo Hongfeng was about to speak when he saw Xiao Ningxun saying slowly, Auntie, how well educated are you? You were a promiscuous person at a young age and had affairs with 3 men at the same time. In the end, you chose the richest one. People are married. After you got married, you were still not honest. The 3 children you gave birth to actually had 3 fathers. Your education is so good in my 18 years of life, this is the first time I've seen someone like you. You have not let your husband find out that you have 2 children who are not his biological children for decades. You are really amazing, so amazing. As she spoke, Xiao Ningxun applauded her. The air suddenly became quiet, so quiet that you could even hear your own breathing. Xiao Ningxun saw everyone looking dumbfounded and spread his hands helplessly, I don't think I should say such things today, so just pretend you didn't hear it. End of this chapter. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 386. Xiao Shulan whispered, is what you said true? Xiao Ningxuan, of course it's true. My fortune-telling ability has been verified by Brother Suo. Since Peng Qingyu was so rude to her, she didn't mind giving her a meeting gift. According to her previous investigation, Suo Wen was Suo Jingguo's cousin and also had shares in the Suo group. Although the proportion is not very large, you can still get money from Soxlet every year. In the past few years, a lot of the money allocated was given to Peng Qingyu, and Peng Qingyu also spent a lot of money on his son. The money was all hard-earned by her biological father and eldest brother. Of course, there was no reason to give it to others to raise an illegitimate child. Peng Qingyu came to his senses and shouted loudly, "You kid, didn't I just say a few words? Are you going to slander your elders like this?" Her heart was extremely uneasy. The things of the year were not very clear. How did Qiao Ningxun know? Did Qiao Ningxun investigate the past of everyone in the Suo family in advance in order to avoid being bullied when she returned to the Suo family? How could it be possible? How could she, a girl, do something so long ago? Peng Qingyu's eldest son Suo Hongsheng also stood up. "You are too vicious. Just because my mother said a few words about you, you slandered our origins." Suo Hongqiang, Peng Qingyu's second son, said with a sullen face, "Don't think that because you are my cousin's daughter, we don't dare to do anything to you. Apologize to my mother immediately, otherwise we will not finish this matter." Peng Qingyu's youngest daughter Suo Xinchuang hurriedly tried to smooth things over. "There must be some misunderstanding about this matter. It's better for everyone to ask clearly before blaming them." Qiao Ningxun looked at Suo Xinchuang and praised, as expected of the Suo family, he is still so calm when encountering such things. Compared with other outsiders, he is not surprised at all changes, which is good. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone looked at Suo Hongsheng and Suo Hongqiang. Qiao Ningxun's words make it very clear. If there are 3 children and 3 fathers, then only one child may be seeking scriptures. And that child is Suo Xinchuang. Suo Hongsheng and Suo Hongqiang clenched their fists at the same time and rushed towards Qiao Ningxun. It is impossible for any man to endure being slandered by others. Suo Jingguo and Suo Hongfeng suddenly stood in front of Qiao Ningxun at the same time. Suo Jingguo's tone was colder than ever before. "You dare to beat my biological daughter in my home, in front of me." Suo Hongfeng sneered, "My sister, Suo Hongfeng, is it your turn to teach me a lesson?" What Qiao Ningxun said must be true. These two dare to hit his biological sister? Looking for death. Suo Hongsheng saw the look in his cousin's eyes and hurriedly explained, "Uncle, you just heard how much she said went too far. How could we not be angry when she slandered our origins like that? They have always been proud to be members of the Suo family, but it is impossible not to be angry when they are suddenly told that they are not the Suo family. If they were not from the Suo family, wouldn't their future be doomed? The Suo family is so rich, just a little bit of money from under their fingernails would be enough for them to be rich and prosperous for a lifetime." Suo Hongfeng glanced at Peng Qingyu. "My sister talked too much. Who started the trouble just now? I personally picked up my sister, and before she even took a sip of water, she was cuckolded by my cousin. Looking for trouble and using seniority to suppress others, who is more outrageous?" Peng Qingyu frowned and said, "Hongfeng, why do you say that? My child is your cousin's biological son. There is no way it is fake. Suo Hongfeng, if it's true or false, you can find out by taking a paternity test. There's no smoke without fire. My sister Ningxun is the science champion with perfect scores in the college entrance examination. Do you think she will talk nonsense without any basis?" Peng Qingyu's face turned pale. Suo Jingguan just heard Qiao Ningxun say that none of his sons were his biological sons, and he was also very angry. But thinking that when her wife was young, she had affairs with many men, and that he had gone to great lengths to catch them, she felt a little suspicious. In addition, the 2 sons are indeed not like him, nor are they like Peng Qingyu. Her behavior is a bit similar to Suo Xingxun's, but not as outrageous as hers. It must be because of their mother's suppression. He had complained before that none of his sons were like him. But the elders in the family said that it was possible to inherit the disease from generation to generation. The 2 sons were somewhat similar to his grandparents, so he no longer doubted it. Suo Jingguan looked at his wife gloomily, clenched his fists and said, Are these two sons my children? Chiao Ningsun said quietly, absolutely not. I can tell fortunes, I can guarantee it with my personality and life, and with my admission qualification to Huaxia University. If what I say is false, I will not go to Huaxia University. Suo Hongfeng, uncle, I advise you to take them for a paternity test. My sister is really good at telling fortunes. What she says is definitely not wrong. Chiao Shulan also hated Peng Qingyu very much. When she first came here, she ridiculed her daughter and rarely added jealousy. My daughter can't tell much about people who are related to her by blood, but if she can tell them all, well, this shows that those people really have nothing to do with her. Suo Hongsheng said angrily, this is the Suo family. Is it the turn of outsiders like you to make irresponsible remarks here? Suo Jingui reached out and slapped him. This is my daughter and my daughter's mother. If they are considered outsiders, then who are you? Can you be considered a human being? Suo Hongsheng covered his face and said aggrievedly, Uncle, she wronged me. Although she is your blood, it is just a biological father-daughter relationship. I am the one you watched grow up. How can you do this to me for her? Suo Jingguo snorted, I don't care about biology, I only know that the paternity test proved that she is my biological daughter, the ideal daughter I have always wanted. You are rude to my daughter. I still want to stand by your side and hurt my own daughter. Suo Hongsheng choked. Suo Hongqiang opened his mouth and saw that his mother's face was pale and she hadn't said a word for him yet, and she felt uneasy inside. Are they really not children asking for scriptures? Suo Jingwen glared at Peng Qingyu's eyes, you're not going to answer, are you? Let's go get a paternity test. Peng Qingyu said with a panic face, no, they are indeed your children. If you doubt their life experience, wouldn't it mean that they are separated from you? They are all in their 20s, and now you doubt even if there is nothing wrong with the paternity test, your relationship with them will never be the same. Suo Jing said sinisterly, forget it if we can't go back to the past. Anyway, they are two rebellious people who want to challenge my authority every day. It doesn't matter whether their relationship is good or not. I just want to find out whether I helped others raise more than 20 people years son. End of chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 387. Chapter 387 Gao Gao. Peng Qingyu prayed, husband, we are over 50 years old, so stop making trouble. If word spreads about it, it will really make people laugh. Chiao Ningsun continued to argue, what a joke. If it takes another 20 years to find out that the child he has raised for more than 40 years is not his own, and even the grandson he has loved for more than 10 or 20 years is not his own, that would be genius. Big joke. Had she not returned to the Suo family today, according to the trajectory of her previous life, Suo Jingwen would have discovered that neither of her sons was hers until she was in her 60s. And he had several grandsons at that time. This incident would definitely cause an uproar, and he would be to death by then. Peng Qingyu glared at Chiao Ningsun viciously. It's all because of this person. Why is Suo Jingsun so useless? If this person dies, no one will discover the things she did in this life. Suo Jingwen immediately called the people at the hospital and said, the people from the hospital are on their way here. After taking the samples for identification, I will know who is true and who is false. After saying that, he looked at Suo Hongsheng and Suo Hongqiang again, you guys stay here obediently. If you leave, I will publish it in the newspaper immediately and sever the father-son relationship with you. From now on, everything in the Suo family will be related to you, not closed. The two of them were startled and had no choice but to wait obediently. Hearing this, Peng Qingyu suddenly became even more anxious. At that time, she did get close to people outside and then soon got close to Suo Jing. So even she doesn't know who the biological father of her two sons is. Now she just hopes that Jiaoningsun is just talking nonsense and that the two sons are indeed the children asking for scriptures. Suo Jingguo looked at Jiaoningsun with a loving expression on his face. Let your brother take you and your mother around the Suo family. There is a horse farm here. If you like horse riding, you can go there with your mother and try it. Suo Hongfen nodded. No, Pengqingyu gritted his teeth and said, she slanders me so much, how can I let her run away? Suo Jingguo looked at Pengqingyu coldly, even if she slandered you, so what? She is my daughter, a serious eldest daughter of the Suo family. Do you still want to do anything to her? Call the police and arrest her. Or beat her up? You can't succeed while I'm here. If she really slandered you, it was just a counterattack. Pengqingyu was furious. If Suo Xingxin had done such a thing before, Suo Jingguo wouldn't even know how angry he would be. Sure enough, the tolerance for biological daughters should be higher? No, her two sons and Suo Jing have never dealt with each other, and the relationship between father and son has been tense since childhood. When my two sons were young, I would cry whenever I hugged them. Is it because they are not biologically related as father and son? It's over. If the child really wasn't his, she would probably be kicked out of the Suo family. Suo Xinchuang saw her mother was nervous and said with relief, Mom, I believe you, don't be nervous. I know you are definitely not that kind of person. Pengqingyu's eyes lit up. That's right, even if the two sons are not asking for scriptures, the daughter is. As long as her daughter is still alive and her daughter intercedes for her when the time comes, she will definitely be able to stay in the Suo family. After all, if Suo Jing divorces her, the matter of the child will definitely cause an uproar. Looking for scriptures and caring about face, I will definitely suppress this matter when the time comes. That's right, that's definitely the case. Thinking of this, Pengqingyu did become calmer. Jiaoningsun went to the Suo family's horse farm with her mother. Suo Hongfeng first took them to the stables to have a look. My father and I both like riding horses, and sometimes we entertain guests for entertainment, so there are horses suitable for people of all ages to ride here. Which one do you like? Wait. I'll ride whichever one I want, and if it's not suitable, I'll recommend it to you. Jiaoningsun nodded and watched as he walked. Mom, these horses are really handsome and good looking. It was also the first time for Jiao Shulan to see so many horses. Yes, they are really beautiful. They are much more handsome than those in the zoo. Suddenly, Jiaoningsun stopped in front of a pony, her eyes shining. Is this a pony? Suo Hongfen nodded. Indeed, it is imported. It is not pet grade. It can be ridden. Anyone under 150 pounds can ride it. Its name is Gao Gao. It belongs to those former business partners. The kids, every time they come here, have to ride it, but it's not for them to ride. Jiaoningsun raised his eyebrows. In other words, it hasn't been ridden yet. Such a short person, but his name is Gao Gao. Is the horse world also obsessed with height? Yes. Not even Suo Xingxin. Suo Xingxin? All the horses have a grudge against her. They won't even let her touch them. If they are touched by her, they will have to be comforted by the groom for a long time, which will cause trouble. Over time, we don't want her to come to the race course. Oh, it seems the horses don't like her either. Yes, the horse hates her too, Suo Hongfeng said with a smile, but you can try, maybe it will want you to ride. Jiaoningsun suddenly looked seriously into the pony's eyes. Why don't you want others to ride on it? Those children may like you. She has unlocked a few days ago, and she can communicate with various animals as long as she concentrates on asking them. Originally, she wanted to use Xiaoha for experiments, but Xiaoha has been away from home for the past few days and she doesn't know where he went. Had she not calculated that it would come back in a few days, she would have gone looking for it herself. Hearing Jiaoningsun's voice, The pony suddenly raised its front hooves in excitement. My ancestors, there are actually humans who can communicate with me. Yes, I can communicate with you. Can you tell me the reason? There is no other reason. I just hate those children. They chatter whenever they see me. They are too noisy and it makes me annoyed. You don't like quiet children either. I like it, but they always feel like I'm in danger. I'm so short, what can I do to them? But you are a horse after all, and it will still hurt if you fall off of you. It is normal for them to be afraid. Is it normal? I'm so gentle, I won't hurt them. But they thought bad things about me, so I didn't want them to ride, lest they get too nervous. If they really fell off, it would be my master's fault, and my master would be angry with me. Master, Suo Jingguo, or Suo Hongfeng. The one next to you. Suo Hongfeng, he is a very nice person. Why would he get angry at you? Will he beat you, or scold you? Simply in trying to reason with me, for dozens of minutes at a time, and it makes my head grow bigger after listening to it. Haha, I didn't expect him to be able to do such a thing, but there is one thing I want to make sure of you, are you not a social terror among horses? End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 388. The pony had a shocked face. It seems that I was right. I just don't want people to ride on me. Okay, I get it. Qiao Ningxun suddenly stretched out his hand and pointed at the pony. I'll just ride it. She only weighs over 80 pounds, so she can definitely bear it. Pony. You said I was afraid of society, did you mean it on purpose? Suo Hongfeng, I don't know if it is willing or not. Why don't you choose another tall horse? Others are very docile. It's okay, it will definitely be willing. Qiao Ningxun asked, is there anything to eat? I want to feed it and have a good relationship with it. Have. Soon someone came over with food for the pony. While Qiao Ningxun picked up the fruit, he gave it a touch of fairy spirit and then handed it to the pony. Don't try to bribe me. Once you mount me, I will throw you off, You'll know after you try it. It's delicious. I guarantee you'll want to eat it again. The pony stretched out his head and smelled it for the sake of being the first person who could understand it. Suo Hongfeng had already thought of words to comfort Qiao Ningxun. After all, in his opinion, this pony would not give anyone any face. It's just that the pony smelled the fruit, bit into it and started chewing. Wow, this tastes so delicious. Why didn't you know that apples are so delicious before? Of course, I am not an ordinary person. The things that pass through my hands have an extraordinary taste and are also good for your IQ. Suo Hongfeng said blankly, Ningxun, it actually ate it. Qiao Ningxun blinked, yes, I ate it. Suo Hongfeng sighed, it seems that it has a fate with you. It never eats food from other people's hands. Many children have wanted to feed it over the years, but none of them want to feed it. My father and I don't give it. The breeder, even if you don't give it, you have to use special tools to put it into its mouth. Qiao Ningxun turned to look at the pony, you have quite a personality. Is there any more? Any more? It's so delicious, I want to eat it again. Qiao Ningxun raised her eyebrows and said, want to eat? Okay, let me ride, otherwise I won't eat. Cunning human beings, let's go, I will reluctantly agree to you today. Qiao Ningxun smiled and said, Brother Suo, it agreed. Suo Hongfeng asked, do you want to change into riding clothes? There are many new ones here, all suitable for your figure. Qiao Ningxun, okay. She didn't want her thighs to be bruised by friction. Suo Hongfeng looked at Qiao Shulan again, and Qiao, do you have any that you like? If not, may I recommend one to you? Qiao Shulan breathed a sigh of relief, okay, please, don't choose someone too tall. No trouble. Suo Hongfeng asked people to take them down to change clothes and bring out the horses they chose. Soon, Qiao Shulan rode a taller horse under the guidance of the racecourse staff. Qiao Ningxun patted the horse's back and was about to ride on it. Suo Hongfeng has been standing by the side, always ready to protect Qiao Ningxun. It's just that Qiao Ningxun rode up smoothly. Gao Gao had no intention of resisting. Suo Hongfeng was stunned. Has this horse changed its gender? Jo, you like my sister, don't you? It's your sister, then you have two sisters. Qiao Ningxun touched her tall head and said, Suo Xingxin is not his sister anymore, I am. The human world is so complicated. Can the younger sister be replaced at will? Gao Gao didn't want to think about it, so he didn't worry about it. I don't know if it was Suo Hongfeng's imagination, but he seemed to see Gao Gao and nodded. Suo Hongfeng was still a little worried and suggested, Ningxun, can I hold it for you personally? Qiao Ningxun, no, I can do it myself, it won't throw me. If it falls, I won't give it any fairy-like fruit. Gao Gao heard what Qiao Ningxun was thinking and could only honestly drive her away slowly. Suo Hongfeng waited for a while and finally felt relieved when he saw that Qiao Ningxun was indeed riding well. He turned back to see Qiao Shulan's situation. It was Qiao Shulan's first time riding a horse, and she was led by the staff. Although she was scared, in order not to spoil her daughter's interest, she was a little excited about riding a horse for the first time, so she rode hard. Qiao Ningxun soon adapted to it and even let the horse run. She learned a little bit in her previous life. Although she hasn't ridden a horse for a long time, she is a cultivator and her body is naturally different from ordinary people. She can learn everything very quickly. Suo Hongfeng was shocked to see that Qiao Ningxun had learned to ride a horse. Learned it so quickly. When Suo Xingxin was a child, it took her several years to fully master it. It is indeed the blood of their Suo family. Half an hour later, Qiao Shulan was also a little tired, and was about to dismount, but as soon as her right foot came off the ground, and before her left foot was completely removed from the stirrup, the horse walked forward, and she was about to fall off. Qiao Ningxun was about to go over, but when he saw the people who had already passed by, he took back his steps. Qiao Shulan felt a pair of hands supporting her on her back. She turned around and saw Suo Jingguo saying seriously, "Be careful." Qiao Shulan quickly stood up and said, "Mr. Suo, I'm sorry." Suo Jingguo waved his hand nonchalantly, "It's okay, lunch is ready, let's go have lunch." Qiao Shulan, "Okay." The two of them changed into their equestrian clothes and went to the restaurant of the villa again. As soon as Qiao Ningxun and Qiao Shulan arrived, the people sitting at the dining table looked at them at the same time. Peng Qingyu's face was gloomy, and his eyes stared at Qiao Ningxun as if they were poisoned. Qiao Ningxun raised her eyebrows, "Auntie, I know you want to kill me, but it's best not to show it, otherwise if I have any accident, you will be the first person to be suspected." Everyone looked at Peng Qingyu at the same time. Peng Qingyu immediately withdrew his eyes. "Damn girl, don't let me have a chance, or I'll kill you." Qiao Ningxun said again, "Auntie, if you want to kill me, you are welcome at any time. When the time comes, I will die first, or you will go to jail first." A trace of panic flashed across Peng Qingyu's face. How does this girl know what she is thinking? Is the expression on her face so obvious? Suo Jingguo looked at Peng Qingyu sternly, and happened to see the look in her eyes before covering up, and snorted, "If something happens to my daughter, you won't be able to survive." Peng Qingyu said sarcastically, I didn't mean that. It was your daughter who guessed wrong." Suo Jing frowned and said, "I can't make you be honest now. Do you insist that I divorce you?" Peng Qingyu was startled and could only lower his head, as if he was keeping his head down. After everyone sat down, Suo Jingguo said seriously, "Everyone, let's eat." For a while, everyone ate quietly. It's just that the atmosphere at the dinner table is destined to be different from usual. Xiao Shulan sighed secretly. She thought that her daughter's biological father was an ordinary office worker or the boss of a small company. I didn't expect it to be from a wealthy family like the Suo family. Whether my daughter comes back or not, she will probably be targeted. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 389. Chapter 389 Pregnant? She doesn't want it? The Suo family has a great business, and there must be more than just a few relatives here today. With Suo Jingguo's temper, if his daughter really agrees to come back in the future, she will definitely want to meet more relatives. Although she knew that her daughter would not suffer a loss due to her temperament, she was still a little worried. Suo Lianyi suddenly said, "By the way, brother, you haven't introduced us to Qiaoningsun yet. She won't know what to call us when she sees us in the future." Suo Jingguo is a little confused. His daughter has not agreed to recognize him yet, nor does she agree with the identity of the daughter of the Suo family. It seems that it would be better to introduce him from his own perspective. Thinking about it, he introduced the people present. "This is my cousin." After the introduction, Gu Qin said with a smile, "Qiaoningsun, I heard that you don't want to come back." Qiaoningsun suddenly turned to look at Gu Qin. Gu Qin looked into Qiaoningsun's eyes and felt a chill on his back. He seems to have said something he shouldn't have said. By the way, Qiaoningsun said she could tell fortunes, so she probably wanted to scare them. She probably happened to find out about Peng Qingyu's affair. Qiaoningsun said quietly, "Brother, I'm not trying to scare you. I can really tell fortunes." Gu Qin was startled. How could she know what he was thinking? How can anyone in this world be able to tell fortunes? I don't believe it. I only believe in those feng shui masters, and I don't believe in anyone else. Qiaoningsun, don't be so harsh. I know that you fell into the water once when you were a child. You were afraid of being scolded by your parents, so you lied and said that you were pushed in by someone. But it took you a long time to find the prisoner, but it's normal that you couldn't find the prisoner, because the appearance of that person was all made up by you. Gu Qin's pupils shrank. She actually knew about this? Gu Qin's father, Gu Zhetang, frowned and said, "Are you a fictitious person, just to avoid being scolded by us?" Suo Lianyi patted her son's back hard several times. "How could you do this, you evil son? Do you know how nervous your father and I were about you at that time? We even hired several bodyguards for you, just to prevent you from letting go you get hurt again. We both dream about something happening to you at night." Gu Qin hurriedly explained, "Don't listen to her, she's talking nonsense." Qiaoningsun said slowly, "I also know that your current girlfriend already has a child, but she thinks you are unreliable, so she wants to quietly abort the child and break up with you. You'd better call her quickly, otherwise in another hour, the child will become a puddle of blood." "What?" Suo Lianyi quickly stood up and said in shock, "Jing Jing is pregnant. But she doesn't want it?" Gu Zhetang also stood up quickly, "Am I going to be a grandfather?" Gu Qin said helplessly, "Dad, Mom, don't worry, what she said must be false. I have been with my girlfriend all the time, how could I not know whether she is pregnant?" Suo Lianyi didn't believe her son's words. "Hurry up and call Ningxun. I'm sure Ningxun won't talk nonsense." She also caught Peng Qingyu's guilty look just now, and she felt that what Qiaoningsun said was most likely true. She believes in Qiaoningsun. Gu Qin had no choice but to call his girlfriend Hu Jingjing. "Baby, where are you now?" "Hu Jingjing, I'm at home, what's wrong?" Just as Gu Qin was about to speak, Qiaoningsun suddenly said, "Let her video chat." Gu Qin, please give me a video, I miss you. Hu Jingjing, why is there a woman talking next to you? Gu Qin, you know, I came to my uncle's house today to meet the cousin I found. It was her voice. She wanted to see you. Hu Jingjing, oh, hello, cousin. Let's forget about the video. I'm unkempt now, which is a bit inconvenient. Gu Qin glanced at Jiaoningsun and spread his hands helplessly. Look, if she doesn't agree to the video, there's nothing he can do about it. Jiaoningsun cast a control spell on the opponent. Hu Jingjing suddenly hung up the phone and took the initiative to video chat with Gu Qin. Gu Qin was stunned and quickly connected. Don't you want to video? Why? Before he finished speaking, Gu Qin saw the background behind Hu Jingjing and the nurse passing by, and asked anxiously, where are you? Hu Jingjing was about to say that she would accompany someone to see a doctor, but she couldn't help but start telling the truth. I'm pregnant, but you don't do anything right every day. Until now, you only know how to rely on your family and not rely on your own ability to make money. You are impatient again. When I think I can invest, I invest rashly, and I have lost a lot of money to my family over the years. I think you are unreliable, so I want to kill the child. I will have another child when you are reliable. Everyone was shocked at the same time. What Jiaoningsun said is actually true. Gu Qin said anxiously, no, you can't fight. Let's get married. I will marry you. I promise you that I will work hard to make progress in the future and become a strong supporter for you and your children, okay? Hu Jingjing, you lied to me, I don't believe you. I have been dating you for 3 years, and I still don't understand you. Suo Lianyi took the phone and said earnestly, Jingjing, I am Aunt. You listen to Aunt, don't beat the child, keep him. I will supervise Gu Qin with you in the future and make sure he calms down. Gu Jiatang also said, yes, Jingjing, I am uncle, and I promise you that if Gu Qin is still so unreliable in the future, we will drive him out. We will recognize you as our daughter and not him. Anyway, I have grandchildren, and it will be the same with my grandchildren in the future. Gu Qin smiled bitterly, saying this as if he was a machine that had completed its task. Hu Jingjing frowned, sorry, uncle and aunt, let's talk about it later. I must beat this child today. After saying that, she hung up the phone. The Gu family suddenly panicked, asked Jiaoningsun for the specific address of the hospital, said sorry to everyone present, and immediately left the Suo family and went to the hospital. When the Gu family members all left, the atmosphere at the table became even stranger. Some people looked at Jiaoningsun eating so much. Although they didn't like the way she looked, they didn't dare to say anything. Who knows if she will reveal any of their secrets later. After eating, Xiao Shulan whispered to her daughter, why don't we go back? She really felt that this was not the place for them to stay. Suo Hongsheng roughly guessed what Xiao Shulan said, and snorted coldly, don't even think about leaving. If you frame us, you must give us an explanation, otherwise. Suo Jingguo suddenly slapped the table and said domineeringly, otherwise, what? Do you still want to take action? Suo Hongsheng hurriedly explained, no, if we ask her to apologize to us, it must be a sincere apology. Jiaoningsun calmly said, I know you were defrauded of 50 million by your ex-girlfriend. Do you want me to give you 50 million so that you can work for your parents? End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 390. Suo Hongshen's face turned pale. She actually knew about this? Suo Jingguan frowned. If Suo Hongsheng was really not his child, would the money he spent on them over the years have been in vain? Peng Qingyu was shocked, you were actually defrauded of 50 million by that bitch? I told you before that that woman had bad intentions and was a rich girl in disguise. Otherwise, she would not have revealed her identity and would never have dared to come to us. Home. Suo Hongsheng said irritably, I know, I will sue her. Chiao Ningxun smiled and said, prosecution? I guess it will take you some time. The ID card that woman showed you is also fake. What? Suo Hongsheng said anxiously, you couldn't be more likely to lie to me, right? Chiao Ningxun, believe it or not. Peng Qingyu became even more angry. Frowning when asking for scriptures, you idiot. Chiao Ningxun looked at Suo Hongqiang who was staring at her again. Suo Hongqiang had already seen how powerful Chiao Ningxun was, and immediately lowered his head, not daring to look into her eyes. Chiao Ningxun snorted. I guess you know the truth. After lunch, Chiao Ningxun visited other areas of the Suo family. Feeling that time was almost up, she returned to the living room. As soon as she returned, the paternity test certificate happened to be received on the mobile phone she used to ask for scriptures. Seeing the item about parent-child relationship, Suo Jingwen suddenly threw his phone in front of Peng Qingyu, trembling all over and saying, You have been cuckolding me for more than 20 years. You are really good. Peng Qingyu picked up the mobile phone on the ground and shook his body when he saw the words that neither document supported the biological father-son relationship. It's useless to ask for scriptures. The two sons are actually other people's. She read another copy, and it was the same as what Chiao Ningxun said, only Suo Xinchuang was Suo Wenwen's biological child. Chiao Ningxun raised his eyebrows and said, Now, you all know who is lying, right? Su Jingwen kicked Peng Qingyu in the stomach. Peng Qingyu was caught off guard and was kicked to the ground suddenly. Suo Jing was still not relieved, so he stepped forward and continued to kick hard, cursing at the same time, You bitch, how dare you do this to me? I have spent so much money and time on those two over the years, if my niece hadn't come back today, you wouldn't have known how long you would have to lie to me or how much it would have cost me, and I would have killed you. As he said that, he saw a fruit knife on the table not far away. He rushed over, picked up the knife and was about to stab Peng Qingyu. Peng Qingyu was curled up in pain and had no idea that her life was in danger. Suo Xinchuang read the 3 identification documents and saw her father holding a knife. He hurriedly stepped forward and stopped in front of Peng Qingyu, crying, Dad, Mom is wrong, but she is also my mother. Don't kill her. Suo Jing's eyes were red with anger at this time, and he said angrily, Get away from me, or I will stab you too. Suo Xinchuang stood still. She firmly believed that her father would never hurt her. After all, Suo Xinchuang was just talking. The person in front of him was his only child after all. He pushed Suo Xinchuang away and was about to stab Peng Qingyu with a knife. Soon, he was stopped by 2 bodyguards. Suo Jingguo advised, Cousin, I know you are angry, but violence cannot solve the problem, and it will cost you yourself. It is not worth sacrificing your whole life for this kind of person. Suo Jing also listened to the advice and calmed down immediately. Peng Qingyu sat on the ground, and the pain in her body had subsided a little, but she did not dare to stand up. She just looked at the 2 sons she loved so much with a gloomy face. At such a dangerous moment just now, only her daughter was protecting her. Her 2 sons, however, just stood aside and looked on blankly. Suo Hongsheng and Suo Hongqiang picked up their mobile phones and read the 3 paternity tests. Seeing the identification results, the 2 of them looked in disbelief. Suo Hongsheng looked at Peng Qingyu and asked, Mom, what on earth is going on? Suo Hongqiang also said, Mom, how could you do this? Aren't you hurting us for the rest of our lives? Peng Qingyu didn't feel that he was wrong at all, and snorted, Have I harmed you all your life? Think about it for yourselves. Did your status as the young master of the Suo family make your life worse for the past 20 years? How long did it take for you to get married? Human life. Now that things have reached this stage, you should not question me, but you should ask Xiaoning soon. Something happened as soon as she came back to Suojia, she just. Suo Jingguo interrupted Peng Qingyu, are you sure you want to continue slandering my daughter? Peng Qingyu choked and had to swallow his words. Suo Jingguan roared angrily, Peng Qingyu, it's already now, and you're still blaming others for your fault. Qiao Ningxun spread her hands helplessly, that's right, it's not me who asked you to cheat on me. I wasn't even born when you cheated on me, so you can't blame me. Peng Qingyu yelled, if you hadn't spoken out, our family wouldn't be like this. Qiao Ningxun frowned, Aunt Peng, there's something wrong with your brain. Who made trouble for me first? You and I are not relatives. Today is the first time we meet. I can't bear it if you pick a fight with me even if I'm wrong, my mother can teach me, is it your turn to teach me a lesson? You. Peng Qing was so angry that he vomited blood. He was indeed the number one scholar, with sharp teeth and a sharp mouth. Suo Wen said, Peng Qingyu, you've had enough. What's wrong with the children of the Suo family protecting the Suo family? Those two of yours are not from the Suo family. Your nose is not a nose and eyes are not eyes towards Qiaoning Xun. What's wrong with her exposing you? It's just that you don't know how to reflect on yourself now, and you actually blame others for your mistakes. I want to divorce you. I have spent a lot of money on your sons over the years. I am going to sue you and return all the money to me. I will also pay for mental damages. I will also drive out those two scoundrels from the Suo family. I want them to beat each other. I want to tell the whole world what a shameless woman you are. Peng Qingyu stood up anxiously, no, the children have grown up, and they are also children you have loved. Can't you just treat them as your adopted children? They are also innocent. They don't know anything. It's all my fault. They are all seeing each other now. If they leave the Suo family, will they be able to find a wife with the same family background as the Suo family? Qiao Ningxun said quietly, oh, it turns out that you not only want to trick the Suo family, but also your future in-laws. They don't know what happened to them, but they have to be tricked by you one after another. If your future in-laws find out that your beloved daughter is actually married to an illegitimate child, I don't know if they will eat you alive. Peng Qingyu was so angry that he was shaking all over. He asked Peng Qingyu in search of scriptures, let me ask you, who are the biological fathers of these two scoundrels?